You told a wonderful story to me during the break about people who see you in the motion picture and then who see you on Roseanne, and they ask you.
Well, as I said, A Place in the Sun was lost, I don't know, for 40 years, and then Ted Turner bought it, and now they show it, and I'm the factory girl in it. It's the one I was nominated Best Actress for. And the kids come up to me in Rexall's or wherever and say, "Are you Roseanne's grandmother?" And I say, "Yes. My name is Shelley Winters. Hello." And they say, "But are you the little factory girl in that picture, A Place in the Sun?" I say, "Yes," and that's about 50 years ago. And you should read James Theodore Dreiser. He wrote other great books like that, too. And the concept of time, it's very hard for them to grasp. You know, one of them, they figure I had makeup on. But
how is the concept for you to grasp?
I enjoy whatever decade I'm in.
There you go.
I have a song. Shall I sing it to you?
Sure.
Oh, it's great to be alive at 75. Love is subsidized and free since 63. Though it takes all night to do what you used to do all night through. Oh, it's great to be alive at 75.
Bravo.
Life is always wonderful.
As grandmother used to say, every day above ground is priceless.
True. It's true.
Michael on the toll-free, Nashville, Tennessee. Hello.
How you doing?
Okay, Michael. Thanks for dialing us up tonight, kid.
I enjoy your show. I've been listening and watching since the 70s in Atlanta.
Thank you.
I have a question for Shelley.
Go ahead.
How are you doing, Shelley?
Pretty good.
Well, great. Congratulations on behalf of all film buffs on a great body of film work over the years. You are everlasting.
Thank you very, very much.
And my question is, we all know you're Marilyn Monroe's roommate and that you were there during the Va-Va-Va-Voom years. Tell us about discovering Sean Connery in London.
Well, let me first put in something that I forgot. I'm opening next week all over the country in a film called Heavy, which is wonderful, as a new young director, Jim Mangold. And one of the things that was terrible about Marilyn's life is she couldn't get older. The studio wanted to be the sex pot always. She was 36 when she died, and I think they wanted her to be 25, you know, in all the films she did. And that's one of the terrible things about being an actress. I was very lucky when George Stevens again, when he asked me to do Diary of Anne Frank, for which I won an Oscar,
Wonderful.
He said to me, if I was 33, he said, if you play this woman who's 53 at this time, you will act all your life. And he was right. And actresses have to go into character parts quite early to have a long career, and I'm ever grateful to him. And she wasn't allowed to do that. And she was a dear friend of mine.
Sex pots are time dated.
That's right. They still do it.
Now, what about Sean Connery in London, to which our friend...
I was ignoring that question.
Oh, you were? I noticed.
Sean Connery is a great friend of mine. And when I met him, he was a chorus boy in South Pacific. I have some friends in London called Peter and Mary Noble, and they never left Schwab's either. They give parties, and he used to write a column like Army Archer does, What's On in London. And whether people were important or not, if they were talented, they would have parties, and that's where I met him. And he was in the South Pacific, a chorus boy, and he had recently been driving a dray truck in Scotland, where he now owns banks.
Right.
But I got to know him in the biblical sense.
Yes, ma'am.
And he was a great pal. He was a wonderful pal. And one of the funny things...
He's a great man, by the way.
Oh,
I know
marvelous.
him. He's a terrific
marvelous. Guy. I remember... He is Scotch, though. He did after Dr. No. He showed me Dr. No. We ate dinner at Schwab's drugstore, and he said, "Do you think I should sign for 5 pictures for this character?" And I said, "Yes." He said, "People tell me that I'm a fine actor and I should do this." And I said, "Do it. It will make you an international star." And later on, he sent me a wonderful beige mink coat that I still have. I can't bear to give it up. I know you're not supposed to have mink coats, but I just look at it in the
he's
closet.
Not completely Scotch, is he?
No, he's not. He's not.
Anyway, Michael, it's quite obvious we're never going to hear the story about Marilyn and Shelley and Sean Connery in London, but it was a great try on your part, and I did the best I could for you, pal.
One more thing to say.
Sure.
Shelley, I'm kind of a man of size, and I do an imitation of you. When I jump in the pool, I say, "Look, Shelley Winters, Poseidon Adventure."
That's not the only picture I drowned in.
You go, girl.
Thanks, Michael.
Thank you, Tom.
All right, good night, sir.
Bye-bye.
You mentioned you won the Oscar for The Diary of Anne Frank, as you did for Patch of Blue.
Yes.
When you read those scripts, when you first read those stories, as they would be filmed on the screen, can you see Oscar possibility when you pick up the script the first time?
Well, I don't think so. I think you've got to know that you're with a fine director. The film that I just did with Jim Mangold, he's never directed a film. He was under contract to Disney, and they dropped him. And he got the film to me.
This is Heavy, next month.
Heavy, which opens next week here, and it's open in New York, and got wonderful reviews, both for the picture and me. And I read it, and I met him, and I realized how talented he was. And they were only paying scale, which my agent was a little irritated by.
Could I ask you what scale is for? Would you mind telling me what that is?
I'm not sure. I think it's $1,100 a week or something like that.
Really? So it's not astronomical at all?
No, it's not very much. When they take out
the taxes
10%
and everything,
and taxes, it's very. But I knew it was a very good picture, and it was a very difficult picture because it was up. It was called The Upstate Story, and now they call it Heavy. But heavy means in the sense, because I have a son who's overweight in it, and it's about smother love. It really is. But heavy means the sense that the kids say it. Boy, that's heavy.
Heavy, right, okay.
And this new kid, Liv Tyler, who's gorgeous, who is in it, and she, we rehearsed at my house in New York. I have an apartment in New York, and she would show up with her book. She was just in the last year of high school, and she was absolutely marvelous. And once we were doing a scene, and she was so young. Oh, I think her father's a famous rock and roll star. I can't remember his name. Tyler. Last name. And anyway, and I was doing this
If
scene.
I knew, I'd help you, but I don't.
All right. Anybody else around here know?
Steve, they've been dying to blurt it out. All right, settle down, fellas, please.
And while we were working, she suddenly looked at me and said, well, I was doing a scene with her,
Yeah.
and she said, "Oh, Miss Winters, you're marvelous." And I said, looked at the director, he said, "Cut." I said, "Honey, you're in the scene." But she said, "It's in back of my head." I said, "But they can pick up what you say and they can see your head move. You're always in a scene, no matter where you are." She said, "I'll remember that. I'm sorry."
I don't mean to embarrass you in any way, but Johnny Carson put out these tapes of great moments on his shows.
Oh, did he?
And you're in one of them.
Oh, I would like to get it. Which one?
I'll have it sent to you.
Thank you.
And in one scene, you're on the air, you know, on the panel there with Carson and McMahon.
Yeah.
And you're looking at an actress and you say to her, "You know, I know you from something." You know what I mean?
Yes, yes. She's in All About the Southern Bells. She's a wonderful actress.
And if we could just...
Oh, I've gone blank.
Me too.
Annie Potts, thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. Anyway, I had been in a picture with her called King of the Gypsies, but she looked different. And I was and it was dreary and rainy. And he had been done interviewing me. People used to interview people and they'd sit like in a circle. And I liked that because the actors would talk to each other. Anyway, I'm looking at her and I say, "Gee, I know her." And finally I said, "I know you." And she said, "Yes, Miss Winters, you do." He was interviewing her. I said, "Oh, I know. King of the Gypsies." She said, "Yes, we worked together for 10 weeks." 10 weeks. But I've done a lot of movies.
Yes, you have. We're with Shelley Winters, who can act. She'll be in Heavy around the country next week, and Portrait of a Lady opens when?
Oh, that's wonderful. That's a Jane Campion picture who did the piano.
It opens.
That'll open in August.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Back with you on the toll-free as time permits with Shelley Winters after these messages.